Thanks, Jem. Good afternoon, everyone. Well, I don't know if it's the good news or the bad news is, but the notes that went with my slides in a file transfer vanished off the face of the earth. So I'm going to talk about this somehow or other and make it fit with the slides, I'm sure. But I guess firstly, you're probably wondering why I'm talking to you about a school program. And it's because this is a program that we've taken on, and I'll tell you a bit more about it, but what it is for councils is an opportunity to be able to build links with your community through this program in the schools. So bear with me because some of it's obviously related to children, and I'm sure some of you are parents and teachers and know teachers and things like that, but it's more how this program fits into how it can help local government and state governments and everyone else actually use the children in the schools to become those sort of leaders of tomorrow. So, let's see what we've got. So this is a program that there's a federal education for the environment in Denmark, which actually owns this program, and each country in the world that wants to run the program has the opportunity to hold the licence. So Keep Australia Beautiful has the licence for the program in Australia. There are now 49,000 schools in 64 countries around the world. So the benefit of the program is being able to link the schools with what other schools are doing around the world and share that knowledge and learn across the schools. And they all do the same program together, but quite differently, obviously, in different countries, because you make the program fit to what's suitable for your particular area. So there's 16 million students, as I said, involved now. More than 1.2 million teachers that are involved in the program, and the ultimate award, this is like an education framework, so it fits into a framework, and as you go along you go towards the ultimate thing, which is you fly an international green flag which says that you are an international eco school. So I can now, with my glasses, actually read this from here. So FEE is a not-for-profit organisation, as I said, in Denmark, and it's been working with United Nations to get this program under roll, so it fits in with all those sustainable development goals. So it's been approved by them, and these are the countries in the world that it's currently operating in. So there's a great variety of countries that we're working from, and some of them have been going for years. It is compulsory legislated in Northern Ireland. Every single school has to run this program in their school. And even in the UK, there's about 40% of schools. And here in Australia, we've got 245 schools. We only started it sort of 18 months ago. We did a trial, and then we've kicked it off since. We haven't done a lot yet because we haven't been able to generate a lot of funds to drive it, but we've actually kicked off, and schools are coming even without promotion because they're finding out from other teachers and word of mouth that this program's out there, and teachers who, especially if they've come from Europe, they want to get into this program. It's quite different to other things that are going on. So it's a whole of student program, a whole of school program, and it's student led. So we don't go out to the school like we do with our environmentals program and actually teach a module. That's part of getting the information that the teachers might need to help the children run through this program. But this program is actually situational. It's real life learning, and they actually have to run through a step process, and the students have to do the work and they have to do the leading. It's not for the teachers to do, it's for the kids to actually take hold of and actually deliver it themselves. And is that going to happen? Oh, perhaps a bit more of that. Why does that not? Oh, here we go. It's now going to come in. Maybe. Oh, there we go. Beautiful. So what we found it's achieved so far is that the students have managed to do things like they have to do campaigns and programs to fit with the program's KPIs as they move along, and they've actually developed programs where they might do a litter clean-up in their school, so they actually get to do work internally, and then as they grow through the program, which starts, it's really a 3-year program to get to the end. By the time they get to the end, they must have engaged the local community, the local P&C, local businesses, and then they do programs and clean-ups and education and things linking in with the community. So it's actually getting the students to take it home and take it out to their parents, take it out to business, and as well as actually getting savings in their own school. So I'm not going to read all this and give you death by PowerPoint, but it's all available if you're at all interested. But it's really great for the school, and what we've found with the schools doing it is the kids have a sense of pride. They get very excited about the fact that they can lead something and they can do something, and it really kind of gives them that sort of that sense of they're in charge of doing something. And because it's project managed, it's project led, they have to actually create that thing themselves and go off and do it. So it's not someone coming and telling them how do you recycle or how do you do this or do that. They have to actually go out and create those things with that information. So, oops, oh good, it's back. Okay, so this program runs through a series of themes, and there's a whole lot of them in various countries. And in Australia we've chosen waste, which includes recycling. We've got litter, biodiversity, global citizenship, energy and water. So the schools choose a theme, and to get their first award they pick one theme, and then they have to go through a range of steps, which is somewhere here. No, it's not going to... Oh, it's vanished. Here we go. The whole thing just seems to have turned itself upside down. I have no idea why. So first of all, what the school has to do, they must form a committee. So the kids form a committee and they have to drive it. They have to take minutes and they have to organise everything. The teacher, obviously depending on their age, will help them do it. Then they have to do an environmental review in their school, which requires them, the kids, to actually go around and work out what needs to be done. So it's not calling in an expert to come in and do it, it's letting the children actually go out and identify the issues that are in their school. And we provide them with all the frameworks and the materials to fill out so they know exactly what it looks like. Then they have to develop an action plan. What have they discovered that could be done better? Is it recycling? Is there litter in the playground? Do they not have any bins? Do they need to be composting? All the things that the kids actually find out, they then write an action plan as to how they're going to fix that and who's going to fix it and when. And this is all part of getting their accreditation, is that they have to be able to demonstrate that they've actually done it, and the children have to do it themselves. And then they have to show how it links into the curriculum, so they have to provide that information to get their accreditation. And then they have to monitor that program and evaluate how it's going. And then at the end of the day, they have to inform and involve the community, the whole school. It must be on their website, it must be on their notice board, it must be discussed at their assemblies. So they have to be able to demonstrate that the message is getting across the whole school. So it starts small, in maybe one classroom in 1 year with a few extras in 1 year, and then as they develop, they have to show where that's grown and how that's emerged. And they can't get to the end of the process unless they've actually gone through all those steps. And there's a way of actually assessing it. So we do a desktop assessment for the first 2 stages of the awards, and if that's ever going to come up, maybe it's not. We do a desktop for that, and they get a bronze award for their first year when they've done one theme and they've done it in a small way. Then they have to do 2 themes, and then they have to expand it more, and to get their green flag at the end of 3 years, they have to have taken on a whole range of at least 3 topics, and they have to actually have done them. And what we found is that some of the schools the kids have gone mad with things like, especially energy, where they've sort of run around and they've suggested setting up monitoring groups of their own, and they spend their lunchtime and their break time running around to classrooms, checking that all the smart boards are turned off so that they can save energy. And the kids are actually coming up with, how can we fix this and how can we fix that? And because they're actually coming up with the ideas and they see the issue, they take ownership of it, and then they're taking those stories home with them. So it's quite different to actually going out and talking to them about what they should be doing, but letting them discover that within their own school and then with their own community, and letting them take the lead. So it's kind of creating leaders and creating leadership within the school, because they're able to do something. I think it helps them become sort of good future decision makers, because it gives them an opportunity to drive this committee and work out how that's all going to work for them. They learn much more than just the classroom. One school, we did a project and they went and cleaned up the local lake, and they got local businesses involved and volunteers. They made signs and posters, and some of our sponsors that are in the program provide some money so that they can get kit to pick up litter things, to pick up things, or they can buy bins, or they can buy various activities and things that they need, even if it's safety equipment. So we can provide through that some things for the schools to actually do some projects. So it's helping them with responsible attitudes, I think you'd say, increasing their levels of confidence and motivation, and getting them to actually participate in all sorts of areas. This is how it's grown since it started in 1994. It's just gone from strength to strength. The schools across the world are really taking it up, and part of our program is linking them to other schools so they can look on the site and they can find another school in another country and they can Skype and discuss what they're doing in different countries. So it's giving the kids a great perspective of what's happening also around the world. It costs $100 a year for the schools, and we've found that there's been quite a few councils now who are keen to tie this in, because one council in particular have a grants program is saying, because they know that the schools are going through a structured accreditation process where they're going somewhere at the end of the day, then it gives them the opportunity to, when they're applying for a council grant, for the council to know exactly that they've got a goal for where they're trying to get to with this program. And a lot of the councils have started paying it's $100 a year for their schools and joining up some of the keen schools and helping them, and then their waste education officer can also go out and help the school to help them train and get things going, to help the teachers do it all, because some of the teachers need some assistance. So I think I can allow it to, we can pick up a little bit of time by me sort of finishing there, but there's one other thing. The program's also doing Young Reporters for the Environment, which is a program for year 5 and 6 in high schools, and those kids are actually going out, identifying an issue, interviewing people and writing a report about it and entering into international competitions. So they're actually going out, finding out what people think and why people do things, and they're doing all that themselves through this whole reporters program. So there's lots of great programs that they're doing internationally that we're trying to drive here in Australia. So other than just giving a little thank you to our supporters up there, I think that'll probably do me for now.